Hello, I want to talk to you about your life as a trader and what this app is really about. I think if I could grab any one of you and shake you and say, just tell you one thing, it's this: stop chasing signals. Stop chasing after any kind of passive information that's coming from signal generators or algorithms or news services or anything. Remember that the market is a competitive price discovery mechanism, so whatever kind of information you're getting and following, it can easily game that, and in fact, it will game that. So, if you're chasing signals, you're like a dog chasing a car. You're probably getting whacked by more than a few of them. For example, here's a stochastic down here. If you were to buy and sell every time a stochastic crossed over or a moving average crossed over, any one of those kind of things that people use, you're really just begging to be gamed by the market. You've got to engage in your own thought process. You've got to be an individual. The market is a thinking machine, and it's giving you information all the time. And you have to engage with it in a dialogue with it and let your trades flow from that conversation, the private conversation that you alone have with the market. And that's what this app is for. This app is to help you have that conversation. Let me talk about how that works. I've got a couple of things on the screen here. I've got a fork, which is a favorite tool of mine, and I've got a CT trend line. And in both cases I have alerts set. Let me unset them so that we can go through that together. All right, and I'm going to unlock the CT trend line. If you're familiar with any of my work, you know that I like to use the CT trend line as a trend following tool in the relatively short term, that is narrowly. Now this is a quarterly chart, so it's not that short of a short term, but narrowly I like to use it as a trend following indicator. I see this as probably a place to sell. Now I'm not telling you to buy and sell. Remember, I'm just showing you how to use the app. And here too we can see that that's happening. So that's probably, right, from a trendy point of view, this is probably something that's going down short term. But this tool is also good for talking about the broader narrative. Let's lock it in place there. This is a huge chart. It's a quarterly chart. Starts off in 1995 or so, and actually let's see, starts off in 1994 and goes to the present. And if we look at that bigger narrative, we can see there's a lot of enthusiasm early on. There's a big period of, Vivus is a biotech company, so there's a big period of R&D over here, and then there's a period of FDA approval, and then the product reaches market, and we could say now that the product is being evaluated by the market, and we're kind of all waiting to see if the product is taken up. And that is just one indicator here. Gives you a sense and gives you a way into that whole narrative. The fork also is useful in informing that narrative. Now, what I do is I set alerts on these two tools. I've just set an alert on the CT trend line and then on the fork. So anytime Vivus touches either the fork or the CT trend line, I'm going to get an email, and it's going to show up in my alerts section over here, and that's going to tell me that that happened. And that's a way of having a visual dialogue with the market, because the alerts aren't price-based. I don't have to type in a price that says, well, tell me if Vivus goes above or below a certain price. Really, I just draw whatever I want to draw on the screen, and those renderings represent the story that I see unfolding. And the app will do the work of figuring out when Vivus touches my story, or the story that I see, and then it'll tell me about that. And you can do this on 10, 100, 1,000 stocks, and that's how you can have a broad visual conversation with the market. Because I don't really think that you should ever have to set aside time to study the market. You shouldn't have to sit there at your desk and somehow change your frame of consciousness and be thinking about the market. You're thinking about the market you're trading should be integrated with the rest of your life. These are just thoughts. They should flow. You should be able to get an alert, look at what it means, edit the chart, make a few changes, and let that story unfold, perhaps over many, many years, as you watch it unfold. The time will come when you decide it's time to act. But that's something that will be based on your thinking, your narrative, the work that you've done. As you build a library of charts, you're going to be building a library of thoughts that are unfolding over time and watching them unfold over time. And as you learn to use the alert system correctly, you'll learn how that enables a real, I know I'm repeating myself, but a real private visual dialogue with the market, which is a thinking machine, and it will engage with you if you're willing to engage with it. Thank you.